In the last video, I went over my email time management strategy. So this works for the most part, but sometimes there are emails that require an action that can take up some, all, or even more time that I've allocated for stacking on a given day. So I want to show you how I handle these. A lot of people I've taught in the class say that this is their favorite stack technique. You already know that all emails aren't created equal just based on the action required to process them. But there's another dimension to emails as well, and that's the time it takes to complete them. I'm going to show you how this factors into your email time management strategy, and then how this relates to your due folder. So here's my stacking time. My morning session is to empty my inbox into my action folders and then work through these folders and then deal with any actionable emails that came in the past. Then my 2 afternoon slots are there to deal with the emails that come into my inbox during the day. Imagine if I got one email that required an hour to deal with and another that required 30 minutes to deal with from the previous day that came in during my first stacking session. Then another 30-minute email came in the morning and a few 15-minute emails came in the afternoon. If I responded to all of these emails in my block stacking time, I'd be left with a ton of emails that I didn't get to that day. What I figured out is that there are essentially 2 broad time-based categories of emails, what I call easy emails and effort emails. Easy emails just take a few minutes to respond to, and effort emails take a lot longer to deal with. If you remember from a previous video, every time I get an email, I've got to go through 4 steps, right? I have to open it, I have to scan it or read it if it's long, I've got to decide what to do with it, and act on it. If I dissect the process of acting on an email, it's clear that it actually has 2 parts to it, prepping and responding. I have to figure out what I'm going to say or actually do something, then I actually have to write the email and hit send. Let me break this down a little bit more so that you're clear on what I'm talking about. Sometimes prepping is just a simple thought which only takes a few seconds, and I can craft the message in just a minute and be done with it. So for example, someone asks me to make a decision, I think about it for a few seconds, then I respond. These are the easy emails I was just telling you about. Sometimes I have to do more serious work before I can respond, like write a report or research something, and it could take me 15 minutes or an hour or even several hours before I can respond. These are the effort emails I was telling you about. It's pretty clear here that easy emails need to be worked differently than effort emails, so I'm going to show you how I handle it, and that's where the due folder comes into play. When I'm working my email, I pay special attention to the effort emails as I go through the process. And just to be clear here, an effort email to me is any email that's going to take me more than 5 minutes. What I figured out is that if I think it's going to take me more than 5 minutes, it's probably going to take me 15 minutes or longer to respond to. So here's my inbox, and let's assume this is my stacking session at the beginning of the day. So the first email comes in and I decide that it belongs in my Meet folder. Then I come to the second one and I realize that it's going to take me more than 5 minutes to reply to. That means to me that it's an effort email and it's going to take me 15 minutes or more to do. So instead of putting it into my reply folder, I'm going to place it into my due folder. And to help me remember, instead of just calling it the due folder, I call it the due 5+ folder, where the 5+ is a reminder to me to put email here that I think will take me longer than 5 minutes. And I continue through this process, placing emails into their respective folders unless I come across another email that requires more than 5 minutes of time. I open my due 5+ folder and go through my typical stacking process of flagging emails. But this time I do something slightly different. I open my calendar and create calendar entries using the subject line of my flagged emails, using the word due 5+ to indicate this is my due folder and the subject line so I can find the email. And when I do this, I make sure to allocate the right amount of time to get the task done. Now, instead of archiving or trashing the original email, I mark it as scheduled by applying a colored category or label to it. That way I know it's been scheduled but not completed. And I repeat the same process with my other flagged emails. Now when that time slot comes up on my calendar during my workday, I know that I can easily find the email in my Do 5+ folder because it has the word Do 5+ in the calendar entry name, which tells me that it's in my Do folder, which is quick to find. After I've acted on it, I can archive or trash it, and I do the exact same with the next email when that time slot comes up. Now in this example, I put the email reminders into my calendar on the same day, but you can schedule these for any time in the future. I often schedule it for days, weeks, or even months in the future based on what the action timeline is. I want to make sure you understand exactly what's happening here. So first, you'll identify the email as taking more than 5 minutes and put it into your Do 5+ folder. Next, you're going to check your calendar for open time and book time for the email on your calendar. Make sure when you do, you change the color of the email to indicate that it was scheduled. You'll come back to this folder at the scheduled time and respond to the email, then archive it or trash it, and you're done. It's a really simple process, takes almost no time, and has the added benefit of helping you better estimate your workload. The Do folder technique handles one of the biggest edge cases with email, emails that have tasks associated with them. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to handle the other big edge case that comes up with email, which is how to track requests with email using email. Here we go.